Blue Antler is a liminal place. A place where knowledge lies in sun-filled meadows, and wisdom slumbers in the deepest shadows of the forest. Profound inner knowing comes when we touch the unknown. Our unions with the mysteries drive us onward. Our liminal conversations explore the lives of those who have touched the unknown. What was it like to experience the mysteries? How did they discover their path? Join my search for whispered secrets and hidden wisdom. Who knows? It may help you discover your path. Welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed all of the episodes thus far, and I'm very excited to bring to you today a conversation I had with my friend Kate Page. Kate and I have known each other for almost 30 years now, and we, became estranged for quite a while, but just because lives went in different directions. But I love her. She's fantastic. And she has really interesting stories and perspective. I have been on her podcast, Openly Eavesdropping, several times. And we just have such great conversation that I really wanted to share some of that with you. So today, I hope you enjoy my interview with, or conversation, deep dive, maybe, into some of the unknown with my friend Kate Page. So, I'm putting this out here in the very beginning. If everyone wants a good background, an introduction to you and I, Openly Eavesdropping is your podcast, and it has a couple episodes where you and I have spoken. So pause this, go there, listen to those, enjoy the fuck out of those because we're hilarious, and then come back to this because the first question I'm going to ask you, I know, I didn't think, I had thought about it, but I didn't think I was going to ask you. But I feel very prompted to ask you now.
Please don't use that language.
That is exactly what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
So, if I cannot move in the really squeaky chair.
Is my face so red?
No.
I'm really nervous.
It really helps that your fingernails are like bright orange, because then it makes your skin tone look more peach, not
Thank you.
Blushed red. You and I spoke the last time. I don't think that episode's out yet, though, is it? The last time we spoke about religion?
No.
Okay. The last time we spoke about religion, about religion, it was about religion. I didn't realize that there were so many terms and words wrapped up in what I thought was not New Age speak, that I actually watched you shut down.
Really?
And then you and I talked a little. We continued to talk because we got into the word cultish. We got into the book cultish.
Yeah.
And how some of those terms now have become, some of our New Age terms have now become fanatical and cultish. Correct?
Yeah.
And then you were proofreading my book. And you've seen, I've actually not paid attention to any of the comments, by the way, but I see them from time to time, and how sometimes our words are like exclusionary, and I would never have would never want it to be that way.
Yeah.
So, that background, having all of that said, when I started to speak about the energetic connections we have to being baptized and making that commitment and stuff, that's when you were like, I think you actually said something about like it triggered you, like you didn't like it. Something went weird. So, what? I'm not calling you out at all.
But
I find it interesting.
Explain yourself, Kate. Is what you're saying.
No, because I feel like there's a really good story, and a really deep story about why that happened. Because first of all, I know you, and it's not just like flippant. You're not flippant about it. There's going to be something deeper, and ever since that day, I've wanted to ask you that because I just feel something so much deeper, and I want to understand it.
Okay.
I'm done speaking. I knew you were waiting for that. I'm done speaking now.
No, I actually would like you to keep speaking because, like, I don't know what the question was in there.
So my question is...
Okay.
What experience in your past did you have that caused that kind of a little bit of shutdown and discount? I never feel like you would have discounted me for my beliefs and what I think. In that moment, though, I think there was a discount of like you're using the cultish and fanatical terms, and using those can absolutely do that. I didn't realize
you didn't know
I was.
You were.
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
Okay, so I'm sorry. If
No,
you
don't.
No, I am, because like if you felt discounted or like I was like, well, this is bullshit.
No.
I think that what you do for you is fantastic.
Yeah, and I didn't think that, by the way.
Okay.
I didn't, promise.
Okay, so, I mean, I don't know. I was raised with what I call a strange combination of Mormonism and energy work.
Mm-hmm.
And not always, but it kind of got more intense when I would say I was probably 13, 14, something like that. And it was people in our ward like practice like energy work, and then my mom got into it, and that was introduced into my spirituality. And it was sort of introduced as in these terms of like we have the truth, we have the gospel of the Mormon Church, and that's the truth. But this helps us put it into practice.
Oh.
This is how you use the atonement. This is how you access the atonement
Really?
and like the spirit to use it.
Okay. It was like your form of the priesthood.
Yeah. And
or similar. Similar.
And interesting that you say that, because this was at a time when my dad was recently out of our house. And so we didn't have the, quote unquote, didn't have the priesthood in our home.
Yeah.
You know, we were a house full of girls and one little tiny boy.
Yeah.
And when you grow up going to the young women classes in the Mormon Church, it is just drilled into you about how much you have to have the priesthood in your home. I don't know if they do that to the boys, but it is very much like, I know you're 12, but like we got to start talking about your eventual temple marriage to a worthy priesthood holder.
Yeah.
And that is so highly focused upon.
Yeah.
And I always felt like a defensiveness come in when that would be said to us, because I would think, you know, the priesthood just like technically left our house, and like I'm better without it.
Yeah.
We don't need that guy.
Yeah.
It's actually terrible. And then all this like energy practice was kind of a replacement, I guess.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like Mormonism plus.
Yeah.
And you know what it has shades of is Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow. It's very reminiscent of these spin-off groups where like some gnarly shit has gone on.
Yeah.
And so I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And also I've watched it be a practice for people in my life. And like maybe not be a helpful thing.
Yeah. 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 I get that. I absolutely get it. Thank you.
I'm like stressed because I think you don't edit and there's like things I want to say, but then you're not going to edit them.
Just say it. Just say it. Doesn't matter. I probably will never. I don't like to edit unless it's like a siren. But we hear those. We're in Twila.
Well, if God could send a siren right now, I'll go back to church.
Listen, I tried that in the celestial room. That doesn't work. Even in the
What did you try in the celestial room?
Please take these feelings away from me.
Oh.
Please take, like, I'm challenged with this. And let's be honest. Had I just been masturbating for my entire life, the pressure of sex would not have been a pressure. It wouldn't have been a big deal. It would have been a normal part of life and not something that was actually pushing me and pressuring me to actually go crazy because all you're thinking about, you can't even think. All you can do is like be horny and that's it. It's true, right?
Don't I know it?
No, see? See?
I'm just kidding.
No, you don't. So, okay. I totally get that, and I appreciate you saying that. I was just speaking, actually, I've been, for the last couple weeks, and I apologize for those of you who have heard this, but maybe if you're hearing it twice, you actually need it. Which sounded very patriarchal and white male. Sorry. But however, it's just me noticing patterns in life. When you're breaking a horse, they put them in a circular corral, right? And then they break them and train them by getting them to run in a circle. Well, when we are broken or trained to do that, I want out of this corral. Well, you get out of the corral, but you still end up going in a circle because it's all you know how to do. Mm-hmm. So when we leave religion or when we leave a belief system, I think it's hard to not structure it to look like the one we came from. Because it's almost like because we've been programmed that way, we're just going to do it that way, you know? So I appreciate you. I appreciate that that experience so much because, which is also another reason I asked you to read the book, because I thought, okay, I need this perspective of somebody who is outside of it and who also has been traumatized over and over by it, to look at it and really tell me, like, listen, some of what you're saying is great, and some of it sounds like this structure, you know, that is triggering, because I never mean for it to.
Right.
But without knowing how to do it differently or creating a different way to do it, you just don't know.
Well, we've talked about this, that like you're not trying to become anyone's guru.
No. Last thing I want.
I think that is where a lot of people have been harmed by sort of the energy community. That's where people I love have been harmed by the energy community. But then also, as a person who, like, I make my money by providing services, I feel like you should make money by providing services that you can provide. But where's the line?
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, do you know Tyson Kapura? He wrote a book
Is
called...
that a Jewish holiday? Did you just name...
I think I said Yom Kippur, but...
Did you just name a man and a Jewish holiday?
I think it's Yom Kippur. I think. I apologize. Okay. I really apologize. He wrote a book called Sand Talk. I bought it, so I'm starting it. But I'm also listening to his podcast. He's Aboriginal or Aboriginal descendant. Was listening to a podcast he had, and he and another guy I follow were talking about initiatory rights and how we don't really have them, and how they were slightly making fun of, which I do all the time, Americans for... My rite of initiation for my man is I'm going to go out and I'm going to kill something, like all that kind of shit. Well, they were talking about it and they said, we feel it and we feel the need, we feel the void, we feel something there that we want to do. And I about fell out. I had to pause it because I was laughing so hard. He said, and you know what? There are 1,400... I will give you this experience for a weekend retreat for $5,000. He's like, and they just pop up and they're right there because you're so desperate for something that you're like, I will come up with the $5,000 to do it. And you do it and you might feel okay for a minute because you yelled and screamed and danced naked around a fire and rubbed fake blood on your face. But it just is a Band-Aid, right? So yes. I thought that was, I thought that was an interesting thing because they are. You can't Google anything without coming up, or even on all my reels on Facebook.
Right.
It's all people who want to help.
Who want to facilitate
your awakening.
Yeah.
Or your healing.
I wish that I had done more research into this, but Court was telling me last night that he listened to a podcast where they were talking about being a seeker. And basically it was, if you're a seeker, and when he said the word seeker, I had an immediate,
Harry Potter reference?
No.
Oh, sorry, okay.
I had an immediate reaction of oh shit, I'm not a seeker. And I felt bad about myself for a second because I was like, I'm not a seeker. But anyway, then Court's telling the story, Court's my husband, everybody, about how this person said if you're a seeker and you think you have found something, you have probably found a cult.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting, right?
That is fascinating.
I know who it was. It was somebody who
oh my God.
helped take down the NXIVM cult. That's who they were talking to on this podcast. I wish I had listened to it on my way here, but I did not have the wherewithal to do that. But anyway, he said that, and I thought... You had
3 hours driving out here to Twila.
It is half my day.
3 hours
half
out,
my day to
30
get here.
minutes back. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
And to stop 5 times to pee.
To pee, yeah.
Anyway, I was like, oh, well then it's cool that I'm not a seeker. That's actually just fine.
Yeah.
So it was weird though, because I'm like, oh, I'm not a seeker.
So... The minute you said that...
Yeah, what did you feel when I said the word seeker?
I'm like, that's why you're on the podcast, because you are.
What am I seeking?
Well...
Tell me.
I think you're seeking alignment.
Okay.
I think you're seeking experience and joy and that's why you have a podcast called Openly Eavesdropping. You're talking to people about topics in their life, and you're constantly fucking reading. You've read more books in past 2 days probably than I've read in a whole lifetime. And
well, that's just because I'm smarter than you.
Well, it is. You are smarter than me. I have a penis, therefore I am immediately less intelligent.
You're right.
It's true, yeah. But that's why I thought you're one of the perfect people to talk to, because you know there's more.
Do I?
You do. Or you wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be here in this room with you?
You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be doing your own podcast. You wouldn't be raising your kids the way you're raising your kids. You wouldn't have a good relationship with your husband.
Okay, here's what makes me bristle though. When you
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
you know there's more.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck off. You can't tell me what I know or
Right.
what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I'm allergic to patriarchy.
Well,
I'm allergic to you specifically.
I mean,
No,
it's
I'm
true.
just kidding.
Did you take your Benadryl?
Yes.
Did you take your Kenadryl?
Oh my gosh!
I'm totally making a T-shirt. Kenadryl.
Did you take your Benadryl?
Yep.
Write it down.
I got it.
You got it.
I got
Okay.
it. It's recorded now. Yeah.
I'm allergic to. I always say I'm allergic to ritual. Like you love a ritual.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to ritual. But here's what I think there's more of. Like, I don't want to just be contrarian and like try to call you out on your podcast for trying to call me out on
Do you
your
have
podcast.
oppositional defiant disorder?
Excuse me?
Do you know what that is?
Yes!
Okay. I don't think you really have it, but go ahead.
You're so rude. Wow.
Go ahead.
It's so good to be a guest here.
I will tell you, we will keep discussing because this is
Okay.
good.
Here's actually what I'm a seeker of. I am not a seeker of anything outside of myself. I am not a seeker of the mysteries of the universe. I am not a seeker in that there's something external that needs to heal me, patch me up,
Right.
make me whole.
No.
I am just a seeker of myself and of connection to other people. And that's why I have a podcast. And that's why I'm a hairstylist. I don't give a shit about your haircut. Okay, well, I kind of
You do.
I do. But I am just obsessed with people
Mhm.
and just connecting with people.
Mhm.
So that's my spirituality. That's it.
Yeah.
There's not a practice to it that is like that looks like yours. You know, you have a spiritual practice that comes with like accoutrement and like,
Mhm.
you know.
Yours doesn't?
I don't think so.
Shears, combs, shampoo, color.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. But you know, the times when I feel the
But I
most.
also know that boxing you in like that, like putting it into, I can't put it into terms of that's your ritual. When you come into the shop every day, you have a ritual of setting up.
Mhm.
It's a ritual. It's something that we repeat over
Why
and
are you
over.
saying this to me?
But
I'm going to go in tomorrow and do something totally different. I'm going to come in the front door instead of the back door.
I'm going to get a text tomorrow and be like, see, fucker, I totally came in the back door. Wait, that's a bad, maybe. I went in the other door. Yeah, so, sorry. But I know that putting it in the box, it fucks with us who don't want to be in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to the box.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to the box.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We are.
The only preparation I have done for this conversation with you is to think about the times when I feel spiritual. And honestly, the best example is at a concert. And when you're at a really great concert and everybody is united in one song and the whole place is just singing the one song,
Yeah.
and the energy of that, I cry at every concert I go to.
Because you feel so connected.
I feel so connected. I feel like humanity is so beautiful.
Mhm.
So that's my spirituality as a concert.
I think it's
Amen.
beautiful.
Thanks for coming to my
Yeah.
TED Talk.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Why do I feel like I'm yelling also? Whew.
That's okay. I speak very loudly.
I know. I always have to compete. I have to compete with you. 'Cause
Well, we have to compete in a hair salon.
you're a handful. I'm a slightly less of a handful.
Oh my God, who told you that? So, can we talk about something else?
Yeah.
What was it like giving birth?
So fun. Like
Really?
It is so exciting and so fun. And whenever I speak with a pregnant woman, it is the thing I try to say to them. A few weeks ago, somebody else's client was about to have a baby, and it was her first baby. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's nothing like it. It is so, your face, it is so exciting and so fun. It is such a, I don't know.
Did you have an epidural?
I had an epidural the first time that did not work well. And so by the time I was pushing, I don't think that it had much effect.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
And it's just, I don't know, like just something primal is getting you through it. And it's so exciting. It's so fun. I didn't find it scary at all. Especially the pushing part, you know? And I might be kind of weird. I didn't take any classes. I didn't read too much about it because I kind of feel like I do better. I'm really great under pressure.
Yeah.
And kind of if I had just shown up that day and they were like, listen, ma'am, you're going to be pushing this baby out of your vagina. If that was the first time I had ever heard it, I would have been like, cool, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm great in an emergency.
Yeah.
So I didn't prepare a ton. And I relied on the nurses to say oh, do you feel that there? Push this way.
Okay.
And I didn't even like looking in the mirror. They have a mirror so that you can watch if you want to. That was distracting to me. Your face. I love this so much.
Wait.
There's a mirror up on the ceiling and they'll pull it over so that you can watch, the crowning and everything. And
it's like watching the dentist work on your teeth. I don't like to do that either. With the reflection thing. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Did you watch it?
No, because that was distracting. That took me out of the task. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yes. Your job is not to watch. Your job is to push.
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. Very cool. I could give birth every day of my life. It's so exciting. But I never want to be pregnant again, and I don't want to raise more children. So I gave birth twice. I have 2 kids, and they were different. The second one was a lot faster, which it usually is. My second baby, I had that baby 4 hours from getting to the hospital, and I had an epidural that time that worked better. Anyway, it's really cool. Why do you ask? I feel like I have really thrown you off with my answer.
Well, yeah, I mean, because TV doesn't show it like that, right? And that's my one reference is that.
You know what? I should have invited you to my births. That would have been.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know why I didn't. That was rude. It was rude.
I'm. That's why we haven't spoken in so many years. Yeah. What kind of baby shower gift do you bring to that? Here I brought some extra strength thread for your episiotomy. That's the right word. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You're doing great.
Yeah. I didn't even have to look that up. Okay. So.
I don't know where this is going, and it's really funny.
The moment.
Hold on, I gotta drink more.
From the marine coffee cup. The moment, I'm assuming that all of a sudden there's a pressure release.
I can't even remember that. I mean, think of a time where you have run on adrenaline, and then when you look back on it, you don't know. You don't remember. You're not finely attuned to every feeling in your body.
Yeah. Because
you're just feeling adrenaline.
Yeah.
So
you couldn't be.
I don't remember.
Attuned to every feeling, or I'm sure it would be overwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a feeling of relief.
Yeah.
like you've just sprinted and you crossed the finish line.
Yeah.
Like you don't remember that there was a rock in your shoe, or that your sock was slipping, or that there, you know what I mean, or you had a cramp in your side. You're just like, oh my God, I made it.
So euphoric.
Yeah.
Have there been other times in your life when you felt that same euphoria? It's okay if there isn't.
I mean, probably, but I need to think about it.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, this was Tate's grandmother's beauty school book.
Stop it.
Yeah, and he has her...
Are you editing this out?
Yeah.
By distraction?
No, probably not. He has her...
this.
Her beauty school graduation certificate.
Dear everybody, I got distracted by things that were sitting on the shelf next to us.
Yep.
And this little book that's called Beauty and Hair Fashions by Alice Richardson. 75 cents.
I really like that.
I'm finding this.
But she looks so pouty.
It's very Doris Day, isn't it?
It is very Doris Day, yeah. Yeah.
What a little cutie.
Yeah.
And then this
beauty
culture.
Culture, yeah. How to do.
A textbook.
Yeah.
This is incredible. I'm sorry.
What year was the front? Does it give you a date?
Arm massage.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. 1940.
And the phone number only had 3 numbers.
A phone. 679.
Yeah. That's so cool, huh?
Eugene, Oregon. This is so cute. Yeah. It says copyright 1940.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I actually think it was a perfect transition into what I want to talk about.
Are we done with the birth thing?
No, we'll come back if we want to. If it circles back around, great. So.
Do you know, this like sort of feels like an intervention or something? I feel like you have a list of grievances.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm totally kidding. I don't actually think you have grievances, but I just I feel like I'm in the hot seat, and it's a weird feeling.
Well, it's because you're used to being interviewed. Or you're used to being the one who controls the conversation.
I am used to being the one who controls the conversation.
Yeah.
And it has been, like, over the course of my podcast episodes, which I have 31 now.
Yeah. Wow.
It has been...
Congrats.
Thank you. It has been a progression of my own vulnerability. Like, I can hear in the earlier ones where I'm like, plug in a joke right here, Kate. Like, deflect with humor or whatever. And then I have slowly learned to become more vulnerable and more open.
Yeah.
And it feels good. And people have commented on that. And I appreciate it.
Yes. And people want to take that journey with you. Because it also then gives them permission to be vulnerable as well. You know, we have to, well, it's like with your kids. Like, we were talking about this, Kylie and I, and my niece. It's so weird because they have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And she and her husband are very aware of parenting. And she said, it's interesting because I now have to be very aware because she works from home and she has the kids during the day and works, of saying, okay, just a minute, I will do that in 5 minutes. Because she's now modeled the behavior of that. So one day, she told Lillian, hey, come here, can you do that? I will, but like in 5 minutes. And so, I think we have to, unless we can see a model of something being done differently, we don't know how. So it's helpful. It's helpful to see people like us who are in our mid-30s.
Oh, I don't know why I'm laughing. That's totally not a joke.
That's totally not a joke. We're so young. You are. I'm fucking old.
Wow, you
days long.
Really hot for 75.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, God. So, here's my question. Let's get into hair a little bit. Why do you look puzzled?
Because I just was like, I just don't know where this is going.
I'm going to tell you where it's
I'm
going.
on a fantastic voyage. It's great.
Yeah, we're on the magic school bus.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been doing hair?
Officially or like technically?
You pick.
Okay, I gave my first haircut to my sister Ashley when she was probably about 3 and I was 9. And I didn't get in trouble. And I was like, cool, I'm good to go. I said, Mom, well, I was in charge of getting Ashley ready for like an event.
Yeah.
It was my sister Andrea's baptism. And we had company in town because Andrea and a cousin got baptized together. So it was this big thing. So we had people at our house and it was chaos and whatever. And my mom said, get Ashley ready. And Ashley had cut her own bangs previously. And so she had this weird little haircut that was meant to make her bangs grow in more gracefully. Was not a thing. And so I'm curling her hair, and I'm just like, this needs help. So I cut her hair, and then I curled it. And then I was like, hey, Mom, I cut Ashley's hair. And, yeah, I'm thinking I had to have been 9, maybe 10.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, great, looks great. And I was like, that's it.
Perfect.
I'm a hairdresser.
Yeah.
So then I didn't go to beauty school until I was 20 because I... for a moment, like I have wanted to do hair since I would say kindergarten.
Yeah.
Very early, just fascinated with, I love watching haircuts and whatever. And always said that's what I wanted to be. My dad always tried to train me to say that I wanted to be a brain surgeon. I don't want to be a brain surgeon. I want to be as smart as a brain surgeon, but I want to give haircuts.
Yeah.
So anyway, there was a time in high school where I was like, oh, I need to do something smart and prove that I'm a smart human.
Yeah.
So I just went to like regular college and I wanted to be an English teacher or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I love to read and whatever. And then I was in the middle of that and my mom was like, what are you doing? Like, you're not, I'm actually not great at following the plan of college.
Yeah.
I was not great at that. I was great at driving to campus and finding a social life. I was not great at, taking the time to take all the classes. So my mom was like, what are you doing? You should be in hair school. And so when I was 20, I decided to do that. So now I am 46. So there you go.
So more than half your life.
More than half my life. But really my whole life.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
And I will know if you're lying. And I completely understand if you...
Okay, just ask it. Come on.
Do you ever have the moment when you're done, maybe doing a new client or like maybe one of your existing clients wants something a little different. Have you ever had that moment where you get done styling them after their color and you're like, I love it, it looks great. And they walk out and you're like, damn. Answer that first, and then the second part of the question's coming.
Okay, well, yes.
Yeah.
Do I astound myself with my own skills frequently? No, yeah, I do.
Yes, you do. Yeah, because you're good.
Yeah,
I mean, you would not still be doing hair if you were bad at it. You would be done.
It's true, honestly, because
you would be done.
I don't know a lot of hairstylists who are my age.
Nope.
People don't last in this career.
I think Tate's almost 40 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You don't get there by,
No.
So now, here's the second part of the question.
Okay.
Have you ever had the experience of, and I don't mean this to sound like it was an accident, but like, you're like, damn, that really turned out, and I don't know that I was completely aware and conscious of all the decisions I made in mixing color, in mixing shade, in mixing tone, to get that from a conscious perspective. Where it came out, my question is, it came out unconsciously, and it was just like second nature, and you don't even think about it. You just grab this, and that, and it does what it's supposed to do. And our unconscious makes better decisions than our conscious mind when it comes to something you've done for so long.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of like a specific example, but I feel like I work some long days. Twice a week I'm there about 12 hours. And your face.
How?
I'm younger than you.
You are, yes, that is true. That is true. I'm still working 10s. Just kidding. That's not even close.
And sometimes you're just, like with anything, like you've driven down a street and you're like, did I stop at that red light? Like you black out. You dissociate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think for sure there are times that I have sort of done that. Or, sometimes I will watch like TikTok videos or whatever, other hairdressers who are instructional, and they have these consultations that are not what I'm having.
No.
And for the most part, my clients don't require that level of consultation from me because I don't really take new clients. I know everybody.
Yeah.
They're in my chair to talk, and then I'm just going to do their hair while they're there.
Yeah.
Like the hair is secondary to the relationship, which is what I enjoy. Yeah. Some people hate that. That's not your thing, usually. Which is fine. It's totally fine. It's not like our job is to do the hair, you know what I mean? But yeah, so there are times where I think that I am just going on instinct or whatever you want, whatever you want to call it.
I keep the clients that I want to talk to. I keep the clients that I'm okay spending time with.
Yeah, because you have good boundaries.
I have poor boundaries. That's why I've had to make that decision.
Let me rephrase it. Because you are aware of your boundaries.
Yes.
And working on it.
Yeah. Because I definitely do not want. I just don't want to waste my time. I don't care how much you pay me.
Yeah.
Because I have clients all the time, you do extensions. I'm like, nope, here you go, here's the referral, because I don't want to sit for 8 hours with somebody to do,
I don't think it's that you don't want to waste your time. I think it's just that you're just conscientious of your time. Your time is valuable, and you know what your time means to you.
I also don't like that most people won't take care of them.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like not valuing my time. Even though you're paying me.
That's another level of your time. It's
So, have we given you sufficient time to think about if you've ever had a euphoric experience? Like
in the salon or in life?
Just in life. Like 10 is your euphoric from, giving birth. The best concert you've ever been to is a 7, 8.
9, 10.
9, 10? Yeah.
I've had some pretty, I would say, euphoric concert experiences where I just feel full of whatever. Yeah. I mean, euphoria, I guess is the word, but full of the spirit is, the tongue-in-cheek way that we say now, because we would have said, and I think that if I were still a person who was practicing religion, I would probably feel some feelings of confusion of why can I be drunk at a Tori Amos concert and feeling stronger feelings than I have ever felt in holy places of the Lord, quote unquote. Those places don't exist.
Yeah.
That would give me a lot of confusion and a lot of what's the word they use? A lot of dissonance, a lot of
Do you still find that it does that a little bit to you?
No.
Good.
No, not at all.
That program is
been deleted.
That program has been deleted.
Good, I like
Ooh,
it.
there you are using terms that make me go, ooh.
I know. I think you're a seeker. And
Ken, I am not a seeker.
let me tell you the cult you're gonna end up in.
Shit.
It's the cult of Kate.
It's the cult of Kate. It's the cult of one. I
Yeah.
don't want any followers. Please
No.
don't follow me. I don't have any.
Okay,
I
hold
don't
on.
have anything to give you.
Please follow Openly Eavesdropping.
Okay,
Find
follow,
it. Yeah.
follow my podcast
Yes, but
and
don't.
form your own cult.
Yeah, Prophet Kate.
Your own cult of one.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I think things fall for you.
Yeah.
Is I can see like, yeah, you're a seeker, but the cult you're developing and following and like who you're working with and for is you. And I think that's fucking brilliant. Like, it's brilliant. No matter what language we use to describe it, the feeling of it, what it feels like for you is brilliant. Like, it's just you. I wish more people actually worked on themselves and were as aware.
Same. Also, thank you.
You're welcome. I told you I spoke earlier with Eric, my friend Eric. He said he was looking up, and I'll have to get this from him and send it to you because I think I want to read more. Different types of people. And like healers, right? People who are barely aware that they're in an existence, you know, but there has to be. I have a hard time with this. Not everyone is created equal, although we can have equality for everyone, and not everyone is meant to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time with that because I just want to include everyone. I want everyone to be successful and happy, and I'm pretty sure that's still rooted in. I want everyone to make it to the celestial fucking kingdom. Do you know what I mean? So
we're already there.
We're already there. Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah. I have to admit that I was going to fill in the blank with when you said Tori Amos. I was just for fun going to say New Kids on the Block.
Never been to New Kids on the Block, but last summer I went to the Backstreet Boys.
Was it good?
It was so fun.
Really? Like a 7 on your...
It was fun.
What?
When they came out on stage originally, you know, at the beginning, and they sang a new song, I had so much secondhand embarrassment, and I was like, we have made a grave mistake by coming to this event. And I was like, this is painful. They're old. Blah. And then they sang like 1 or 2 new songs, and then they got into their old songs, and it was so fun. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
It was so much fun.
Good. That's great.
So even something that you're like,
that
you're like jokey, haha. I still feel that feeling when I'm at that, you know? It doesn't matter if it's my Lord and Savior Alanis Morissette or if it's the freaking Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Or if it's like I went to something last year, it's some girl I'd never heard of, and I didn't know any of her songs, and I had the best time. It doesn't matter who it is.
I feel like I love that you found I would put it as your stream.
A medium? No? My stream? Okay. My lane?
Your recipe. How about that? I'm working,
I don't know what you're doing.
I'm working through. For those of you who don't know, I'm rubbing my fingers with my thumb in a circular motion. I'm working through my my thought because I feel like you found your recipe for how what make to put you in that. It's
like a shortcut. It's like a shortcut to connection.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, I think you're right. And I feel like music is a shortcut to my connection. Like if I played a song for you and I saw in your face that you were really like hearing it the way that I hear it, that is such a good feeling for me.
And that's what happens at a concert because everyone there is like has the same oh my God, this is So let's continue with the Ward Cookbook of recipes. Did you have that growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
I still have some of them. I still make some people's recipes. Margaret Crane's chicken salad.
Oh my god. Send that to me.
Carrie Lowe's ziti casserole.
Oh Lord.
I know, it's so funny.
It makes me hungry.
I shouldn't be saying these names. That's kind of creepy, but
it's
like
the name of the
women I have
recipe.
not seen for 35 years. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's fun.
oh, I made Carrie's ginger crinkle cookies last Christmas.
I think what will be funny is that when someone listens to that, they'll be like, "Oh my god, that's my aunt." You know, it'll be fine. So, going back to the Cult of Kate cookbook, what are your other recipes? What are other things that put you into that place of connection where you're like, "Oh, this is fucking fantastic"? Giving birth, which we're not going to do again.
No, probably not.
Oh my god, wait, can you imagine being 64 and having an 18-year-old?
I thought you were going to imply that I was currently 64. I was getting so mad immediately.
No, but if you had one now, if I did my math correctly, actually you'd be like 65 with an 18-year-old.
I feel like you're not doing your math correctly, but I just feel confused.
It's crazy to think about being in my 60s and having an 18-year-old.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm getting hung up on the math.
Okay,
46
sorry.
plus 18. Okay, you're fine. Okay, what other things are...
What are your other recipe cards?
What are my other recipe cards?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's an interesting question because I think there are times when I'm seeking connection with...
Wait. I'm sorry. When you're what?
I'm going to hit you.
But thanks for bringing the... What are they called? Massants or muffins?
Cruffins.
Cruffins. Okay, thank you. Yeah, from the Upper East Side. Thank you.
From the Upper East Side.
Sorry. There are moments when you're seeking.
There are moments when I'm seeking because I guess I'm a seeker. Connection with humanity. And then there are times where I'm seeking connection with myself. So I think that there are two recipe books. What's your face saying right now?
My face is
You're thinking that's one and the same.
Yeah. I was just wondering why you separate those.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, because
literally just pulling this out of my ass.
And there were like you're with other humans.
Yeah.
And then there are times when you seek connection with you, and then with nature or with whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that you don't see yourself as part of humanity. It's just seeking connection with other humans. Is that a good, or is that like it was? I thought that was interesting that you used seeking connection with humanity and then seeking connection with yourself as using those two words as the difference between the two.
Well, I think there is a difference because, I don't know. One of them maybe is like a quieter experience. You know, when I'm seeking connection with myself, that's a quieter experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Humanity's not quiet.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I don't need humanity to be quiet.
And it's complicated. And it has a place.
Yeah, and it's messy and people are fucked up, and I love people.
Yeah.
Like I just love people for all of their whatever.
Yeah.
So I would say that when I'm seeking connection with myself, like that probably is more of like that's when I'm drawn more to like nature. Still music, like music connects me to myself. There are certain songs, there are certain words. I have some of them tattooed on my body.
Yeah.
That I'm just immediately. I have this word that is tattooed right here, that is here.
Mm-hmm.
Takes me to a song.
Mm-hmm.
And the words of the song, like if I told you what song and you listened to it, you would be like, what?
Yeah.
it's not the words, it's the song takes me to a time where I was just Kate. And I can listen to that song and I am transported back to being in my body as like a 19-year-old. I'm in charge of me. I'm figuring me out. I'm driving around in my own little car. I'm taking care of myself. And I'm just pure Kate. And when I hear that song, I'm there. And I know who I am. And I know that there are parts of my brain that nobody can access but me. And there are times in my life where I would have told myself that I'm weird. I don't fit in. These things going on in my brain make me a stranger. They make me a weirdo. And I just came to a point where when I hear that song and I think about the things in my brain that make me me, and I just think like, that shit's cool. And I don't have to tell anyone about it. It's for me and it's not for anyone else.
Wow. Brilliant.
Thanks.
Would you like a tissue?
No,
You're okay for
don't
that?
tell people I'm crying.
I didn't. I didn't. You just did.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm not uncomfortable with my emotions.
Wow.
Okay, folks, that was a mic drop moment for sure. I have a little bit more footage or audio that I may share down the road. But I felt like that was a great place to end. I will say that you are going to want to head on over to Openly Eavesdropping, Kate's podcast. After we recorded this a few weeks ago, I walked Kate out to her car so she could go home, and we encountered a very interesting situation where we ended up seeing this homeless man being beaten, and we decided that like there were so many things like that I felt during and after, and she felt and went through during and after, that it would be an interesting not an interesting show as far as like putting it out there, but an interesting idea and very raw, I think, is maybe a good way to put it. And some of the shit is out in left field. Some of it may be a little non-PC, but it's what we went through nonetheless. And I enjoyed diving into that with her. And you can find that on her latest episode of Openly Eavesdropping. And I hope you head on over there right now, listen to that, and then maybe subscribe, follow, notify, all the fun things that we do, and go back and listen to other podcast episodes of Openly Eavesdropping. The one that we reference in this podcast actually isn't published yet, so I will let you all know when that does get published, the one more about Christianity, and you can head on over and take a listen to that. So I appreciate you hanging out with me and, well, with Kate and I for an hour. And I appreciate your support of the Blue Antler, Whispered Secrets and Hidden Wisdom, a Discover Your Path podcast.